Hi, PerspectaWeather.com meteorologist Paul Dorian here on Tuesday, July 24th. Deep tropical moisture continues to flow northward along the Atlantic seaboard. Tropical downpours throughout the day today in the D.C. metro region, up across northern Maryland, northern Virginia, into central Pennsylvania. Certainly flooding potential remains high in those areas around the Chesapeake Bay, the D.C. metro region, up across the Susquehanna Valley. In the Philly metro region, it looks like the focus today for the heaviest rainfall activity will be in the western side, the western suburbs, places like western Chester County, out across Lancaster County and Berks County. New York City will actually remain primarily rain-free today, as will much of the state of New Jersey. Their action comes on during the day on Wednesday and Wednesday night, as that upper-level low that we've been following over the past several days, which has been situated over the deep south, gets kicked out tomorrow and edges to the north and east. That should help in shifting the axis of heaviest rainfall to the north and east. And again, New York City, New Jersey, and the rest of the northeastern part of the country will get their activity in terms of downpours on Wednesday and Wednesday night. But for today, D.C. gets pounded again, and primarily the western side of Philadelphia. Let's take a look at this good product that the University of Wisconsin puts out, total precipitable water. It's basically akin to a water vapor image here, and we have this tremendous flow of air that's been pumping up tropical moisture right into the mid-Atlantic region from the Bahamas, the Gulf of Mexico, the Caribbean Sea. We'll put all this in a looping fashion in a moment for the past 24 hours, and we'll see just a continuous flow of air out of the tropical Atlantic into the mid-Atlantic. Notice also a lot of moisture here shown on this map in orange and yellow in the Gulf of Mexico region, and this is actually feeding in as well. Anybody who saw the satellite imagery last night over the Gulf of Mexico saw a tremendous blob of thunderstorms, what we call an MCS, a look to it, mesoscale convective system, basically a huge area of thunderstorms. All that moisture is actually feeding in to this plume that's riding right along the East Coast. We'll see a looping fashion in a moment, but all that moisture of the Gulf of Mexico last night will contribute to downpours in the Mid-Atlantic region over the next 48 hours or so. One other thing to point out here before we start looping this, notice out here off the west coast of Africa, and this is the west coast of Africa right here, all these blues and purple, this is dry air. This is air that's coming off the Saharan desert in the central part, the north central part of Africa, and it's actually riding to the west in the trade winds from the east to the west. This has been and will continue to inhibit tropical activity in the Atlantic Basin, at least in those areas off the west coast of Africa. So a lot of dry air here, but tremendous amount of moisture, tropical moisture, feeding into the mid-Atlantic region and ultimately the northeastern part of the nation. Well, now we have the looping here of the total precipitable water over the past 24 hours or so. First of all, notice moisture over the Gulf of Mexico riding right into this huge plume of tropical air that's pushing basically north-northwest from the south-southeast. Again, Gulf of Mexico moisture feeding into the tropical Atlantic moisture, riding all the way north into the mid-Atlantic region, and here we are, the dry air in the eastern part of the Atlantic moving slowly to the southwest, inhibiting tropical activity as it comes off the west coast of Africa. Well, here's the latest radar loop, and again, the focus today will be D.C., the western side of Philadelphia, up across central Pennsylvania. Here we are, some downpours right now in the D.C. metro region, and again, they've been pounded over the past several days, as has been the Susquehanna Valley region of south central Pennsylvania, and that is the basic trend over the next several hours from the southeast to the northwest. There have been some downpours in western Chester County, and again, it'll primarily be focused Philadelphia west today in terms of rainfall activity across southeastern Pennsylvania. New Jersey, New York City, a lot of rain-free time today. Their main action will come on Wednesday and Wednesday night as all of this shifts to the north and east. But again, flooding potential remains high throughout the D.C. metro region, south central Pennsylvania, and certainly in southeastern Pennsylvania, especially on the western side of Philadelphia, let's say Chester County, and then Lancaster and Berks County as well. Well, let's take a look at the 500 millibar height anomaly forecast maps from last night's 6Z GFS model run. And again, deep upper level low over the extreme southeastern part of the nation here. And again, this will slowly kick to the north and east over the next 24 hours or so. That'll play an important role in shifting the axis of the heaviest rainfall into New Jersey and New York City on Wednesday and Wednesday night. Here, let's move forward here, 6-hour increments. This is now tonight forecast map. Again, kind of opening up this wave here down the southeast U.S., and it allows it to expand to the north and east. Certainly, downpours will continue throughout the day today and even on the day Wednesday in D.C., but New York City, primarily rain-free today. Their activity is focused on Wednesday and Wednesday night. This ultimately flattens out as it kicks out to the north and east, and then we have this deep upper level low sliding slowly south and east over the Great Lakes by Thursday morning. This part of the country is in store for below normal temperatures for the next several days. It looks like the next couple of weeks could be cooler than normal out across much of the center part of the nation, while the southwest continues to fry over the next several days. Texas may very well get a break by next week, but certainly the southwest U.S. stays very warm. The Great Lakes turns much cooler than normal over the next few days. Well, let's wrap up by looking at the surface forecast maps from last night's 6Z GFS model run. These maps from tropicaltidbits.com. Again, plume of moisture riding up from the tropical Atlantic into the mid-Atlantic and ultimately the northeast U.S. Let's move ahead in 6-hour increments here early this afternoon and then early tonight. Again, the heaviest rainfall today across D.C., the western side of Philadelphia, New York City, New Jersey. Certainly not rain-free completely, but lots of rain-free time expected over the next several hours. And then all of this tends to shift to the north and east during the day on Wednesday. The heaviest rainfall for New York City comes later tomorrow and tomorrow night. They'll get in on some of the action. And we'll have to watch. There will very likely be some heavy rain bands setting up later tomorrow along the Mid-Atlantic coastline. That could feed into the D.C., Philadelphia, New York City corridor during the day on Wednesday. In fact, some heavy rainfall depicted here by last night's GFS model run for tomorrow night, Wednesday night, in the New York City metro region. Again, their heaviest rainfall comes later tomorrow night. D.C. continues, Philadelphia continues throughout the day tomorrow to get some tropical downpour activity as well. Finally, we get to Thursday, and it certainly will not go away completely, the very moist weather pattern, but the chance of showers and thunderstorms looks like it'll certainly be lower on Thursday and Friday. With that, a little bit more sunshine, much warmer conditions, temperatures well up in the 80s, it looks like, for highs, at least the mid-80s Thursday and Friday. Again, the chance of showers and thunderstorms on Thursday and Friday, but certainly not anything like what we'll experience over the next 48 hours or so. That's it for now. For PerspectaWeather.com, I'm meteorologist Paul Dorian.